So, in the vein of updating all of my previous builds to the new DLC, subject 2923, been playing around with a lot of one-shot builds because a lot of people seem to say one-shot builds are better than ever, and others are saying that one-shot builds are basically dead just because you can simply do so much more with other builds. This potentially is correct, but I think the issue really is now Slayer sets or one-shot builds just have so much more variety, and you can do so many different things with them that are all within a very weird sort of little niche market. Now, if you're playing solo, one of the best setups you can actually do is Heartseeker with something along the lines of Hunter's Band. I prefer Empowering Loop because my aim isn't too good with one-shot builds, but still. Once you enter boss fights or even co-op, Heartseeker kind of loses its effect. So what I typically run is something along the lines of this. Hunting Pistol with Cold Spear, Sniper Rifle with Fan of Knives. I'm using Scar of the Jungle God, but sometimes I like to use World Breaker in case I get a bit too overwhelmed. Problem with Slayer sets is it's kind of one bullet, done, reload. So I find World Breaker having that nice pushback really does help me out. Slayer set, obviously, Polished Whetstone, Empowering Loop and Devouring Loop. Now, the reason I'm going for this is because the mix up with Fan of Knives and Polished Whetstone really does allow me to get maximum effectiveness out of Devouring Loop, as would Heartseeker. Obviously that's 100% crit to those that aren't aggroed to you. Problem I find is I'm generally getting a lot of aggro, not really for me. So I run this typically simply just because it's pretty damn handy along the crit side, and well as potentially getting that Devouring Loop proc. There are many Slayer builds out there. This is just the one I typically run. I've seen people who are all over their accuracy shots and basically run Hangman's Memento, Ring of Flawless Beauty and Hunter's Band. Now if you get a weak point shot with this as a crit, you're going to be doing about 6,000 damage, which is pretty much what Devouring Loop would give you on quite a lot of builds. Even the non-crits are like near enough 3,000 damage. It is absolutely absurd. With the setup that I am running, your damage can potentially go a little bit higher, but it's very dependent on getting the Devouring Loop proc. Without Devouring Loop, the weak point crits are about 5,000 damage, and without the crits, about 2,000 damage. But yeah, in the meantime, have fun, good luck, don't die.